Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Lakna Sim, and I am the Underwriting Credit Manager here at Mega Capital Funding. Today, I'll be presenting you with Mega Capital's complete elite non-QM and DSCR product lineup. Also with us today is Ricky Dunganen, our VP of Secondary Marketing. Ricky will be presenting our M-Pricer and rate sheet segment. M-Pricer is Mega Capital's exclusive non-QM and DSCR pricing engine. We are very pleased and excited to have you all here today, so let's get started. So for those of you who are new to Mega Capital Funding, Mega Capital Funding was established in 1998 by our CEO and founder, Brian Na. Brian is an industry veteran with over 20 years of mortgage banking experience. Through Brian's executive leadership and direction, Mega Capital Funding has been referred to as one of the nation's fastest growing mortgage lenders with one of the most diversified loan product portfolios in the mortgage banking industry. Mega Capital Funding is a Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac seller servicer and FHA approved lender. In addition to our conventional and FHA loan products, we offer a diverse and competitive portfolio of jumbo, non-QM, and DSCR loan products. Mega Capital is licensed in Arizona, California, Colorado, DC, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Maryland, New Jersey, Oregon, Texas, Virginia, and Washington. To learn more about us, please visit our website at www.mcfunding.com. So for our webinar agenda today, we will be going over our non-QM and DSCR programs. We have our Elite non-QM full doc program, our Elite alt doc bank statement program, our Elite DSCR program, and our Elite DSCR no ratio program. We'll be going over, and again, Ricky will be presenting the M-Pricer non-QM and DSCR pricing engine, as well as the program rate sheets. And then we'll be closing out with Mega Capital Funding broker resources and contact information. So jumping in right into the Elite non-QM full doc and alt doc programs. Currently, we are offering the full doc program. It is a 1-year full doc income option, and the requirements for wage earner borrowers would be a 1-year W-2 or tax return and a recent 30 days consecutive pay stub, along with a signed and dated 4506 form. For self-employed borrowers, we will require a 1-year most recent personal and business tax returns, and either a year-to-date profit and loss statement or 3 months business bank statements verifying the cash flow. So in this case, no P&L is needed if you guys are going to provide us with the 3 months business bank statements. And also, we would require a signed and dated 4506C form. So the income documentation and calculation is per Fannie Mae guidelines, with 2 years of verification are required unless otherwise noted by the program stock options. So stability of income and documentation of a minimum of 2 years employment history must be provided. So that concludes our non-QM full doc program. Our next stock option would be the Elite non-QM alt doc bank statement program. The income option requirements for this self-employed program for self-employed borrowers would be one of the following. We have personal bank statement option, which would be 12 months personal bank statements and 3 months of business bank statements. The business bank statements are used to confirm the existence of the business accounts only and not to qualify. So that's really important to remember. The next option would be the business bank statement option, which would require 12 months business bank statements and either a business narrative form or a CPA or EA expense ratio statement. So on our website, under our form section, there is a blank self-employed questionnaire business narrative form. Should you choose to go that option, that must be completed and provided with the 12 months business bank statement. The next option is the personal and business bank statement option, and this is for bank accounts that include personal and business deposits. So this is an account with commingled funds. In this case, we would require 12 months bank statements in either a business narrative form or CPA or EA expense ratio. So in this case, we would be calculating the qualifying deposits using the business income calculation method. Now, going into a little more detail, and this slide is going to go over qualifying with the Elite non-QM Alt Doc 12 months personal bank statements. So if a borrower maintains separate bank accounts for personal and business, only the personal bank statements are used for qualifying. Qualifying income derived from personal bank statements will be determined by adding up all the qualifying deposits, dividing total qualifying deposits by 12, and then that'll equal your qualifying monthly income. So things that you want to watch out for, large deposits that you want to watch out for that are not normal, such as tax refunds, net sale proceeds from real estate transactions, and income from ineligible sources such as deferred compensation, foreign income, business activity related to marijuana, mortgage credit, private stock, retained earnings, or one-time occurrence or temporary income. So these would be ineligible deposit sources, and we wouldn't be able to include that in with the qualifying deposits. Most importantly, the qualifying monthly income will be the lower of either the income stated on the initial 1003 or income derived from the 12 months bank statement calculation. So that is really important to remember because it may deem your file ineligible if the stated income on your 1003 is actually lower than the 12 months bank statement calculation. So that's something that you definitely want to be mindful of. Now going on to qualifying with the Elite non-QM Alt Doc 12 months business bank statements, qualifying income derived from business bank statements will be determined by adding up all the qualifying deposits and then multiplying the total deposits by the applicable expense ratio factor as determined by the business narrative or the CPA or EA provide expense factor. And then multiplying the total with the borrower's ownership percentage of the business, and then dividing that total by 12 months, which will equal your monthly qualifying income. And again, watch out for large deposits that are not normal, such as tax refunds, one-time occurrence or temporary income, and income from ineligible sources such as deferred compensation, foreign income, business activity related to marijuana, mortgage credit, private stock, or retained earnings. And again, this also applies. The qualifying monthly income will be the lower of either income stated on initial 1003 or income derived from 12 months bank statement calculation. So this guideline is actually applicable to all of the to our Alt Doc 12-month bank statement program product. Now, qualifying with the Elite non-QM Alt Doc 12 months business bank statements using the fixed expense factor. So here we have a fixed expense factor. It's basically categorized by the number of full-time employees and contractors, the type of business, whether it's a service business or a product business, product meaning goods sold. So based off of your business narrative that is provided, if you so choose to go that option with your 12 months business bank statements, we are going to apply the applicable expense factor based off of the information that you provide us. So if you let us know that, or if the business narrative indicates that it's a service business with 8 employees, we're going to apply that 40% as the fixed expense factor. So service business examples would be consulting, accounting, legal therapy, counseling, financial planning, insurance, IT, etc. Any type of business that's providing the customer with a service. So a products business would be a retail, food services, restaurants, you're selling food, you're selling goods, manufacturing, you're selling materials, contracting, construction. So for borrowers qualifying monthly income, again, I cannot stress this enough, but we are going to use the lesser of the average allowable monthly deposits and the 1003. So, and again, to recap what we had just went over, we're going to take the total qualifying bank deposits and multiply that by the expense ratio for the type of business and the number of employees, and then we're going to multiply that by the borrower's percentage of business owned, which equals your qualifying monthly income. So the example that we have here is on the 1003, it's showing a stated income of $12,000 monthly. Our average allowable monthly bank statement deposits are working out to $10,000. The borrower has 9 employees and is in a service business, and the borrower owns 80% of that business. So we're going to take that $10,000, and we're going to multiply it by the 40% expense ratio, and then we're going to multiply that by the 80%. And that's going to be our monthly qualifying income of $4,800. Okay, so that is how we would calculate the 12 months business bank statements qualifying income using the fixed expense factor. Now, we also have the Elite Non-QM Alt-Doc Bank Statement Program with a CPA and EA profit and loss statement. So this is an income option for the self-employed borrowers, and we would require a 12-month profit and loss statement prepared by a licensed CPA or enrolled agent, and 3 months business bank statements, and evidence business is active and operating within 10 days of the note date. Qualifying with Elite Non-QM Alt-Doc CPA or EA profit and loss statement and 3 months business bank statement. So this slide is basically going to go over how we are going to look at the qualifying income for this option. So for this option, the borrower must provide a CPA or EA prepared 1-year P&L statement, which will be used to determine monthly income. Only 3 months of business bank statements is required to confirm the income shown on the P&L is supported. The sum of disallowed deposits transfers subtracted from the bank statement deposits may be subtracted from the P&L gross revenue. So the documentation required would be, again, the comprehensive business narrative. A year-to-date P&L is also required if the P&L is greater than 120 days old at the time of closing. The business bank statement must support the monthly gross revenue from the P&L within 10%. So 10% is the variance. If the bank statement income is more than 10% below the P&L income, then the bank statement income must be used to qualify. So again, the borrower's monthly qualifying income, we are going to use the lesser of the average allowable deposits. If the income is 10% or more below the P&L, or monthly net income averaged from the P&L or monthly income on initial sign 1003. Multiply the results by the borrower's percentage of the business owned. So we have two examples for you. In example one, the P&L indicates $120,000 annual profit, works out to $10,000 per month. The 1003 states $11,000 monthly income. The bank statement income results in $9,100 monthly income. The borrower owns 60% of the business. So in this case, we are taking the $10,000 and we are multiplying it by the 60% of the business owned, which works out to the $6,000. And in our second example, we have a P&L showing $120,000 annual profit, $10,000 a month. 1003 states $10,000 monthly income. The bank statement income results in $8,000 monthly income, and borrower owns 60% of the business. So you would take the $8,000 and you would multiply it by the 60%, working out to the $4,800 monthly. So to recap, a recap of the Elite Non-QM Alt-Doc Bank Statement Program income options, you have the 12 months bank statements that must be accompanied by one of the following: either a business narrative to determine the fixed expense factor, or a CPA or enrolled agent expense statement. The 3 months bank statements must be accompanied by a CPA or enrolled agent prepared P&L statement. And the qualifying income will be based on the lower of average qualifying bank deposits and monthly income stated on the 1003. All right, so that concludes the non-QM full doc and alt doc segment of our webinar. We'll be moving into the Elite DSCR and Mega DSCR no ratio programs. So the Elite DSCR, or Debt Service Coverage Ratio program, is for investors only. It's for investment property only. And the requirements on this is we would need an appraisal report in Form 1007. We would need a current lease agreement if applicable. And we would need to calculate the debt service coverage ratio by taking 100% of the gross rents divided by the proposed PITIA of the subject property. So we have the formula here: gross rents divided by PITIA equals debt service coverage ratio. The debt service coverage requirement must be greater than or equal to 1.00 for purchases, rate and term refinance, and cash out refinance transactions. So for all transaction types. If the transaction is a refinance, the lower monthly rental amount of the rental agreement and rent survey, Form 1007 single family rent schedule, provided by the appraiser, will be utilized to determine the debt service coverage ratio. Some of the DSCR program details. Again, a DSCR loan is a business purpose loan for non-owner occupied investment properties only. No DTI, no debt to income ratio is needed to qualify, and the borrowers are qualified based on the monthly rental income from the subject property. We encourage you to see the Elite DSCR program matrix for the full program parameters, and that can be downloaded from our products page on our website. Now, the other DSCR program that we offer is the Elite Mega No Ratio program. And the requirements for this product is if the below qualifications and matrix qualifications are met, the loan will not require a debt service coverage ratio calculation. All other asset, credit, property, and borrower eligibility requirements must be met unless otherwise noted. So the qualifications are, it has to be a 1 to 4 unit non-owner occupied income producing property only. Again, all transaction types are allowed: purchase, rate and term refi, cash out. You'll need to refer to the matrix for further credit and LTV limitations. We require a 0 times 30 in the last 12 on all mortgage accounts. We will use the rental survey from the appraisal, that's Form 1007, to calculate and document the DSCR in the file. So that is a requirement. We will need a copy of the appraisal along with the 1007. Even though we are not using the DSCR ratio for this program to qualify, we do need to document it. And then also there is a mandatory 1 to 3 year prepayment penalty that applies. And it's the same DSR program details as I previously mentioned in our last slide. DSCR is a business purpose loan for non-owner occupied investment property only. DTI, there is no DTI ratio needed to qualify. We are only qualifying based on the rental income from the subject property. So that actually concludes the non-QM, elite non-QM and DSCR programs. So I will go ahead and hand over the presentation to Ricky, who will be presenting the M-Pricer elite non-QM and DSCR pricing engine. Ricky?
Thank you, Lakana. Thank you everyone for attending our webinar. We're going to be going over, where you're going to be accessing this information and how you're going to run your scenarios in our system. But first of all, everything that Lakana just talked about, guidelines and parameters, you can find that on our product list on our website, mcfunding.com, by going into products and clicking on our guides link. Let's see, it's opening up. And you'll find our non-QM product on our portfolio alt doc section. And then you can pull up and download those programs here. Now, as for loan scenarios, if you want to plug in, your loan details and try to figure out pricing, we have a no login required access for you through our M-Pricer link. Clicking on this link here will take you to our quick quote. Now, a few things to keep in mind for the quick quote. It's very basic as far as what it's going to provide you for qualifications and pricing. Pricing is going to be provided at the nearest to par at no cost. So let's go through an example. So we'll select income doc for 12-month bank statements. Let's say this is investment property purchase. Now, our quick quote indicates up to 5 years prepay. We're going to be changing this because our program only offers up to 3 years maximum prepay. So let's go ahead and select that. Single family residence, California. Let's say Los Angeles. Let's do a $600,000 loan amount. Oops. And a 70% LTV. FICO score, let's give them a high 780. These other fields here are optional if they have any of these factored in. Let's leave those as none for now. No mortgage leads, none of that, no derogatories. DTI we can leave blank. And then let's consider them as US citizens and click on your results. And from here, it's going to show you the available programs under the selected income doc. And we have here our elite non-QM and our elite non-QM interest only. Clicking on the view link here will show how your qualifications fared against the guidelines. So for example, you see here loan amount, you have your green checks there saying it's all cleared. Those that are question marks are basically TBD factors that doesn't necessarily disqualify or qualify your program. They can go without. But those are just the basics. So the results that you see here, as you notice, like 4 1/8 with a 1/8 rebate, this is borrower paid pricing. If you want to get granular with your scenario and you want to see the expanded array of rates that we offer, you're going to need to log into the M-Pricer. which is this link here, the Empricer login. If you don't have one yet, now this is to those of you that are already clients of Mega Capital, this is different from your portal access, from your broker portal access. The Empricer is specifically only for scenario lookup and pricing lookups. This is not where you submit your files. This is just so you know where you stand as far as your potential loan application. You can check through here. This is actually more granular than our actual submission system. So this will help you. This is a powerful tool for you to determine in advance if your loan qualifies or not. Requesting for a login through the Empricer should take about an hour. I would say maybe 2 hours max. At least that's how our developers are timing it right now. So you should have that right away. But now we're going to jump into the Empricer login. So you want to see what those rate options are going to be. So let's click on that. Let's sign in. And here we go. So the loan information that I entered is going to carry over as soon as you log in. So I have my US citizen, 12 months bank statement, so on and so forth. I can do a quick price, and it'll give me some details here for the program that I selected, which is the non-QM fully amortized. So if I click on the rate, it'll show, these are live pricing, by the way. It will show you all the available pricing options. Again, this is live pricing, borrower paid. We didn't want to put this on front of the, of our website, and we potentially have your borrowers have access to this. But with minimal requirements, you should be able to gain access. So that's for your rate options. This little calculator icon here shows the breakdown of the adjustments. This eye icon shows the same perimeter settings that we had earlier that shows where our guidelines are at and where your loan stacks up. And this is the guideline. There you go. And your scenario details. This is if you want to forward the scenario over to a different recipient. Maybe you're a processor and you want to show this to your loan officer. You can input the information here and download it. To save it to your computer and then email it over. That's how you can save that information. And then that's it. That's pretty much, in a nutshell, that's our pricing engine for the non-QM. You can select all other programs there, whatever we have available. Another thing also, the Empricer, it also expands beyond our non-QM program. The quick quote, the one that doesn't have a login, will only price you for non-QM, but if you have Empricer login, it will also price you for our other programs, our other agency programs, FHA, and our jumbo products. So feel free, play around with the system, compare us with your other lenders, and hopefully we can be of benefit to you. And that's pretty much it for our Empricer system. I'm gonna pass it back to you, Lachlan.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. I was actually muted. To close out the webinar today, we are going to finish out with the Mega Capital Funding, Inc. Resources and contacts. We've put together a contact and resource page for you. We have the Mega Capital corporate office contact information. We have the department contacts. We have the general information and useful forms information. Next page, we have pricing and lock information, funding servicing department, and additional information. Please contact your account executive with any questions that you have regarding our non-QM and DSCR loan programs. That concludes our presentation for today. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending. We appreciate it, and we look forward to continued relationships with you. Thank you all.